The one commandment that Christians refuse to obey. Most Christians claim to love God and follow His commandments. They stand against lying, stealing, and murder. But there's one commandment that nearly every Christian refuses to obey. What if I told you that this commandment was written by God's own finger, yet churches have ignored it for centuries? What if I told you that failing to keep this commandment means rejecting the authority of God Himself? Today, we expose the one commandment that Christians refuse to obey and challenge skeptics to disprove these facts. What does the Bible say about the Sabbath? The commandment I'm talking about is the fourth commandment, the Sabbath. Exodus 20, 8-11. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. This is the only commandment where God says, remember. And yet, most Christians completely ignore it. The Sabbath was not just for the Jews, it was established at creation. Genesis 2, 2-3. And on the seventh day, God ended His work which He had made, and He rested on the seventh day from all His work which He had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. God blessed and sanctified the Sabbath. He set it apart as holy. Yet most churches teach that it no longer matters. So, let's ask the question, who changed the Sabbath? Who changed the Sabbath? If God never changed the Sabbath, who did? Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. This prophecy predicted that a religious power would arise and change God's law. And history proves this is exactly what happened. In AD 321, Emperor Constantine, a former sun worshipper, issued a decree enforcing Sunday worship. Later, the Roman Catholic Church openly admitted to changing the Sabbath. Their own catechism states, Sunday is our mark of authority. The Church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. Did you hear that? The Catholic Church admits it changed the Sabbath without biblical authority. Mark chapter 7, 8. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men. So if your church is teaching Sunday worship instead of the Sabbath, is it really following God or human tradition? Did Jesus or the apostles keep Sunday? If Sunday worship was truly biblical, then Jesus and His disciples would have kept it. But what does the Bible actually say? Luke 4:16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. Acts 17:2. And Paul, as his manner was, went in unto them, and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the Scriptures. Hebrews 4:9. There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. The Greek word for rest is sabbatismos, meaning Sabbath-keeping. The Sabbath was never abolished. So why do so many Christians refuse to obey it? A challenge to skeptics and non-believers. If you believe the Sabbath was changed, prove it. Here's your challenge. Find one verse where God changed the Sabbath to Sunday. Show one command from Jesus instructing Sunday worship. Prove from the Bible that the apostles replaced the Sabbath with Sunday. You won't find it, because it doesn't exist. Sunday worship is a human tradition, not a biblical commandment. So why do billions follow it? Why this matters, the final test of obedience. This isn't just about a day of worship, it's about obedience. Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. God's true people will stand for His commandments, including the Sabbath. The question is, are you following God or following tradition? Final call to action. The truth is out. The Sabbath is God's commandment, and nearly every Christian ignores it. Now, you have a choice. Follow God's commandments or follow man's traditions. Seek biblical truth or accept religious deception. If this video opened your eyes, don't stay silent. Like, share, and comment below. Let's wake up the world before it's too late. And if you want more Bible truth, subscribe now, because deception runs deep and it's time to expose it.